Hey guys, this is Boganora, and I am playing DomiNations with a new player, SoulJiah, who is in our NonToxic Gamers Alliance. SoulJiah.
What's up, guys?
Hey man, glad you could join us here. So, SoulJiah being a new player, we decided we would just do a Q&A video, and I've been playing this game for about 18 months. And we're reviving the NonToxic Gamers Alliance from DomiNations from back in the day. And we plan on being pretty active and doing wars and things like that. So what do you want? Questions, answers? You want a tour? What do you want to do, man?
Hey, man, I got a lot of questions for you. I am right now thrilled with this game. I love it. It's a break from what I've been doing recently in like the type of games we play. Of course, Transformers, Earth Wars, and a couple other games. This game, it's about strategy, man, and it's amazing. So I basically got two accounts. I got an account where I'm currently at Iron Age, and then I have a brand new account also. One that I'm gonna be using to play a little bit slower. With this one, I think I just jumped right in, not really knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of lost when it comes to a couple of things. The biggest thing that I was lost with was the wonders.
The wonders.
And I didn't really know what the difference between the wonders are. So if you can help me with understanding the difference with the wonders and how important they are, that'll be really helpful.
Yeah, the wonders are awesome. That's a carryover from the Civilizations type games where you get to build the wonders of the world. So starting in the, are you able to build the wonder now, or is that going to be the next stage?
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, I actually built a. What is it, Hanging Gardens?
Okay, all right. So you're in the Iron Age, and you get to build a wonder. Every other age from now on, you get to build another wonder. Okay, and West Mall is coming into the Alliance. You are live. You are in the Alliance, live on game. All right, come on. Already a member. Excellent. So the first wonders that you can build, the choices are the Acropolis, the pyramids, the Stonehenge, or the Hanging Gardens. And the pyramids, Stonehenge, and Hanging Gardens are economic type wonders, and they help you, like the Hanging Gardens, it increases resources from the fruit trees and the gold mines. And it also speeds up their recovery time so that you can collect from them more often. That's a pretty good one. Stonehenge, when it gives you a bonus on your gold when you collect it from your caravans, and it gives you a bonus on your gold for the roads that you have connected to the town center. I don't know if you realize when you build a road and you connect it to a town center, to your town center, and then you put a building on the road, you get a 10% bonus for every building that's on the road. Does that make sense?
It does. It's interesting because I never really thought about that. Because I don't know if you have the ability to go to my town hall or my base.
I do. Hang on, let me.
All right, cool. Yeah. So if you don't mind, go to it for me and give me some feedback on it. So.
Okay. All right. So yeah, not a problem. So let's go visit SoulJiah's base.
Now, once again, I'm from a different type of game. So I was just trying to throw something together real quick that looked cute.
When it comes to strategy, this game is full of strategy. Okay, so a couple problems I see. First off is you do have the roads there, but they're not connected to your town center in the middle.
Okay.
You can actually run the roads through the gates. That's kind of what the gates are for, is to allow you to take the road through the walls. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, and your Hanging Gardens, which, okay, I see there, and you did put all your fruit trees and your gold mines beside the gardens. That's a good wonder to have when you're starting out. At some point, that one becomes a little unnecessary. So you can swap it out later. It'll cost you some crowns, but you can swap it out later for a different, a different wonder. I did the Acropolis, which is defense. It was a defensive wonder. Your little garrison that the little guys come out of when somebody attacks you, and your stables that the horses come out of.
Yeah.
When you get those close enough to the Acropolis, it speeds up the spawn time of your defenders, and it's pretty powerful when it in later ages when you have higher level stables and higher level garrisons, and now it keeps spawning troops. It's kind of like a goblin hut in Clash, right? They just keep coming.
Okay.
They just keep coming, and then the Acropolis speeds it up. So, but yeah, that's walls. Your walls are very important in this game. Don't neglect your walls. I played a lot of games where walls are just kind of there. Not so much in this game. Okay. At least through the middle stages. Now towards when you get up in the upper, like the global atomic ages, then the walls are not so much of a deterrent because we end up with like airplanes and stuff, and we just fly over them. But early on, you wanna get your walls up as high as you can.
Okay.
And but other than that, let's see, what civilization you chose? Japanese, so that's a good defensive civilization. That town center actually will shoot at people when you get attacked.
All right, good.
So that's pretty cool. And you've got let's see here. You've got your towers. I mean, you got them spaced out pretty well. You got your catapult inside the walls. That's good. It'll shoot over the walls to whatever. You could probably pull some of those defenses inside your walls, and the whole wall thing works kind of like Clash of Clans does. I don't know if you how much you played that.
Yeah, I'm a boss in Clash of Clans. I got level 50 characters.
So all of the different base designs that you can do in Clash, you can do in here. You want to adopt the same type of strategies with segmented defensive structures, with walls, and have everything in segments so that you don't just want one big giant wall around your base, because once they break through, they're in, right? You need sections and that type of thing. But man, you're moving right along here, bud. Considering you haven't started like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, just about 3 days.
Yeah. So very good. And I like it. I like what you're doing. You just but if you'll turn those turn that road around and bring it into underneath the gate and connect it to your town center, then when you put buildings on the road, you get a bonus in gold for every building. And the other thing that does is, for every building connected to the road, your town center gets a 10% bonus in hit points, so it becomes stronger and harder to destroy.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I don't know. Do you have your game up? Can you look?
Yeah, I'm actually moving the road right now as you speak. So if you back out and went back in, you might see a different road.
Yeah. Okay. So I was actually going to say, if you wanted to go visit my base, and then you can see a couple of the things that I've got going on. I run a resource protection there, so my town center is exposed. The theory there is, if it's trophy hunters, if they're looking for medals, they jump in and they destroy the town center, and then they leave, which gives me a shield. But they don't take a whole bunch of resources. I don't care about my medals. I keep them right around 1,000, and that's good enough for me. I don't. I'm not trying to be the the best, the highest medal count. And then you see the Acropolis there on the above the town center. That garrison that's right behind it, and the one that's inside the walls, and the stable. Those are within its reach, its range. So they spawn faster than the other ones. So I've got all my resources in the center there, and the one in the very center is oil. That's that's a very scarce resource. So it's being protected more than everything else. and I got all my decent defenses in a ring around there, and then I've got all my extraneous buildings around the outside. And then if you'll notice that I do not have like all my farms and everything all clustered in one spot, because that just makes you a target for raiding.
Right.
You know, so they can come in with drop some riflemen, take out all your farms, steal your food, and then leave. You know, but with them being spread out all the way around the base like this, it's just more difficult. I mean, I still get raided, don't get me wrong, but everybody gets raided. But so yeah, that's that's where I am. So we went through the first set of wonders, which is the Acropolis and the pyramids and Stonehenge. I don't think we went through pyramids. Pyramids increases the it gives a boost to your farms when you get them close enough to the pyramids. I find the pyramids and the Hanging Gardens difficult to use in base design because stuff has to be close to them, and the things that are close that need to be close to them are things that you don't want clustered together, like farms. The Hanging Gardens, not so much, because you can kind of stick it off by itself and put the trees and the mines around it and just kind of leave it alone. But the pyramids is tough to incorporate into a good base design.
And that's what one of the things I was thinking about when I originally did this basic base was how each. When I was looking at which ones would be most important to me right now. And I really wanted to try to use the resources, but I know later on, the troop and the army army composition is going to be more important than just the resources. So,
right.
This was the one I just wanted to give a shot at. But I think after looking at your base, I got a lot of work to do.
Well, it's 18 months worth of work. So, but you can replace those wonders. I mean, you can replace them multiple times. It's 600 crowns to replace it once, and then I believe it goes up after that. I've never actually replaced a wonder, so I don't know what it is after the first time. But so not the next stage you're at, but the next stage you'll get to build another wonder, and that's where the one that is I believe is probably the best wonder in the game, at least until you get up to global age, and that is Notre Dame.
Gotcha.
The Notre Dame gives a 10% discount on technology research in the library. And it also gives a 10% discount on your troop upgrades in your blacksmith. And because it's a percentage, then as you progress, that discount just gets larger and larger because your upgrades cost more and more, right? So, for instance, I'm kind of mid-level, really, believe it or not. I'm Enlightenment age. I'm pretty close to being ready to go to industrial age, but not quite. But my upgrades, so like the next upgrade that I need to do is probably my heavy cavalry, and that's 5.2 million food.
Wow!
And that's with the discount. So, and I've got some additional discounts in the library, so I think that's a 6 million food upgrade, but. With all the discounts and everything, it's 5.2 for me. So that's why I think Notre Dame is probably the best one for that age. And then the other options are Forbidden City, which is it acts as a second town center. And so sometimes you'll go to attack these bases and you'll see what looks like. Why does they have two town centers? Well, it's because one of them is the Forbidden City. You actually have to get both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it also gives you just a little bit of extra food. And then the Terracotta Army, it increases the health of castles and barracks. So that's pretty good. But what it does is it allows you to summon a Terracotta Army once a day and take it in and have extra troops in battle. For that one. And the Roman Colosseum, That one's very popular. It acts like a big, like a very large garrison. It produces, when you get attacked, it produces troops to defend your base, and a lot of them. So that one's pretty popular as well. But I go with Notre Dame on that next stage. So since you're still Iron Age, what else did you want to know?
Well, from looking at your base, I see some changes that I already want to do at my base. Like
Okay.
One of the things that I kind of been doing was just going in and attacking and trying to get as many resources as I could.
Yeah.
But now I see that you have your mill, and you have your market right there in the middle. This is the mill and the market, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's correct. And that
All right,
thing,
so
thing in the very center is the oil refinery. So, but that comes along in Enlightenment Age. So.
All right, but you put the mill and the market together because you want to protect those,
Right?
because your resources. Okay,
yeah.
And I think so that's an approach that I most definitely want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna most definitely work on changing my base.
Yeah.
Now the farms, like when I attack some bases, I attack the bases, and all of a sudden some gold will be on the streets. Why does that happen?
Okay, so what happens is the caravans, the little camel guys that run around that you collect gold from. When someone attacks a base, those guys get scared and they drop the gold that they're carrying, and then they run away.
Oh.
That's where those gold piles come from. And so it is very hard to figure out. You have to look and see where if you're raiding for gold, you're either going to get it from the markets or you're going to get it from the caravans. So when you go to attack someone, you need to at least make sure those caravans are outside the walls, right?
Gotcha.
Not inside the walls, because then you got to break through the walls to get to them. So the farms, obviously, they don't move. It's easy. Raiding for food's pretty easy. Just take a bunch of spearmen and a couple of the horse raiders and go at it. Gold's a little bit. And what I find is that when I'm doing a raid for resources, I typically just go raid for gold, and the food comes along with it.
Right.
That's kind of the way that I do. So, all right. So, what else you see? What else questions?
Let's see. Looking at yours again. Okay, I see you have. So your town hall isn't on the street.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay, let me see.
Yes.
Let me see how.
Yes, it's actually connected in 4 different places to a road. If you look, that little bitty section of the road, just to
I see.
Okay, so that little bitty section of road connects the stronghold and the university to my town center, and then right behind the town center there's a gate, and there's a little piece of road underneath that gate, and that connects that stable.
Okay.
And then I have the long road that goes out the back, and the long road that goes down the bottom.
Yeah, I don't have that many roads yet.
Yeah, well, you get more roads, and then
okay. I just want to make sure,
yeah.
'cause it's like, okay.
And then when you move up to classical age, you get to build the library, and then you can go into the library and do research and get additional roads. In fact, one of the first things that you can do when you build the library is Chapter 1 of the Roadways book, which gives you +5 roads. And then and then Chapter 2 gives you plus 10% road income, and Chapter 3 gives you another 5 roads, and then Chapter 4 gives you a 20% road health bonus for the town center, and then Chapter 5 gives you another 10% road bonus in income. So, and that's kind of the way the library works. There's books in there, and they all kind of deal with the same thing. And then as you research the different chapters, you get these additional bonuses. There's one for walls. There's one for increasing the number of defenders that come out of the forest, and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to do a separate video just on the library, and I'm going to go through everything that's in there, and then we'll have a good opportunity to see what's there at that point. So, anything else that you see that's caught you?
Honestly, honestly, that's it. I mean, looking at from being a first-time player and looking at this game, there is a lot of intricacies to it, which is awesome because, like I said, most games you play, you don't have to think about a lot of stuff. You know, for instance,
man, that is one of the reasons why this game has held my interest for as long as it has. It's because
and that was my next question, because when you look at games like Clash of Clans, I played Clash of Clans when it launched.
Yeah,
I was one of the first people to get level 50 heroes, and then I got tired of it. I got bored of it. So that's what I'm looking for a game that will keep my attention over a long period of time. And looking at your base and everything about it is. It reminds me of Ages of Empire.
There's a lot of that,
which is what I love.
Yeah.
And I played Ages of Empire for years, and I still play it today. But that really is amazing. I think this game is going to be one that I will most definitely invest a lot of time into.
Well, it definitely has. One of the things that I like about this game is there are so many different ways to play the game, right? To start with, there's 8 different nations that you can pick, and each one has its own benefits and its own, weaknesses, right?
Correct.
So I did like you. When I started playing, I played Japanese because I was I want to protect everything I've got. I'm a real defensive type player, right?
Right.
And then as the game progressed, I became a more aggressive, attacking type player. And so I actually, once you reach a certain age, you can do a revolution and change your nation. And of course, it costs crowns, but you can do it. I think it's 600 the first time. So then I changed over to the French nation for their quicker training time and their plus 3, which actually it's plus 6 now, in the space in the Alliance gate where your donated troops are. So I can hold 24 troop spaces in my alliance space. If I wasn't French, that number would be 18. So that is a huge boost for when you're attacking. And their cavalry is really strong. The French have the strongest tanks in the game, which is not going to come in until the next age for me, but the French tanks are the strongest tanks in the game as far as that actual tanks, not like a tank, not a tanky troop. There's actual tanks.
I actually bought a bundle the other day, and the bundle had a tank in it, and I was like, "What is this?" And it was awesome because I actually use it, and I sent it in first into my attack, and it pretty much took. I use it as a tank.
Exactly.
My spearmen, or my whatever the guys are, the slings and stuff.
Right.
They were in the background, and they were just taking things out one by one, and that tank just took all the hit points that was being thrown at me.
Yeah.
So it was real awesome.
Yeah. Have you gotten any troops that you can put in your stronghold yet? Have you gotten any of those?
When you say troops I can put in my stronghold, what do you mean? I see that I have the stronghold.
Right. So there's 2 different types of tactics in this game. The first tactic is war tactics. That once you build the War Academy, then they're kind of like equivalent to spells, right? So it's like a protect tactic and a demolition tactic and a sabotage and a heal and a barrage, and a betrayal. Different in it, and you can you throw the protect tactic on your troops, and then they get protected from 50% damage reduction that they take for a period of time. Those are war tactics, but then there's also troop tactics. You see the Night Witch icon that's up there in the corner, because we got the Night Witch event going on right now.
Night Witch icon.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see directly underneath where it tells you how much gold you got? There's a little, looks like a pilot. She got goggles on, or do you not see that?
I must not have that yet.
Okay.
I have a movie camera.
Yeah, we'll be just to the right of the movie camera. I guess you don't have.
Yeah, I don't have that yet.
Okay. Yeah. So you probably got to be a certain age to get that. Let's see. It says recommended. Yeah. So anyway, they run these little events, and they're great because you'll get these special troops that are not in the game normally, and then if you complete the event, at the end of the event, you'll get a building that will generate those troops, but it only lasts for a week.
Gotcha.
And in order to get these special rewards, you have to do certain things. Like the Night Witch, she flies a plane, right? So it's like a biplane. In order to get that, what you have to do is you have to destroy barracks, blacksmiths, command posts in multiplayer battles and in war. And if you destroy enough of those, then at the end of the time, you get the Night Witch hangar, which lasts a week, which generates these airplanes.
Oh wow!
And that's really cool. So, but those troops that you get, those are called troop tactics, and that's what goes in the command in the stronghold. That stronghold actually also acts like a tower, like a bazooka tower on defense. Okay. It shoots at things. But if I go into my stronghold right now, I've got a Night Witch. I've got a Janissary army, which is 11 troops of a particular type that do a particular thing, and then I've also got a Punic mercenary army, which is a war elephant and some spear guys. Right? I can take those into battle with me, but I can only take 2. But the stronghold is where they're stored, if that makes any sense. And at some point, you see the little dock, the little pier-looking thing down there?
Yeah, I do. I actually use it today, but I haven't upgraded it.
Oh, yeah. So did you send one of your guys out on an expedition?
Yeah. He came back with some gold.
So that's actually, that hadn't been in the game all that long, maybe 6 months or so.
Wow.
And that's a lot of these troop tactics. That's where those come from, is sending folks out on expeditions. So I just got an expedition that just came back, and I got a Greek fire thrower army.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which is really cool. And if you when you get to the point where you can build the fort and or the castle, it's technically called the fort, but everybody calls it a castle. And you get generals. You can put a general on the expedition and you get a bonus. You get like an extra 50,000 food or something when they come back. And there's just so much going on in this game that if I had to try to explain everything that was happening, we'd be here for 7 hours.
Yeah.
But it's pretty great. I'm enjoying the crap out of it. We're pushing half an hour on this video, so.
Oh wow! Yeah. I didn't even the time this flew.
I know, right? Because anything else we want to cover before we call this one done?
I think for a first-time player, I think that's a lot.
Yeah, that is.
I think that's a lot. Because the one thing that I'm astonished with is designing this base. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna take the same approach that you took. And I think like any brand new user to the game, even being at the level I'm at, which is fairly new. I think I'm at this level 4.
Yeah.
The planning stage of the game is very important because I got attacked twice earlier, and I lost 2 fights and I won one. But I mean, the resources that I was trying to stack up, I lost.
Right.
So
yeah.
So I think taking your approach in reference to putting everything in the middle is what I'm gonna do.
The really nice thing about this game in base design, the base editor is really nice because you got 3 slots.
Okay.
So you can actually have 3 separate base designs, and you can instantly switch back and forth between them.
Nice.
By going into that, the little icon directly on the right hand side with the compass 4-point arrows on it.
Yep.
You go in there. Mine has, and then you've also got your war base. So there's a tab for your war base. So I've got 3 slots for my town. Now I just have 1, but if I wanted to, I could select town 2 and go into edit. Now that one was one that I was working on, but I haven't finished it. Right.
Right.
So I hit finish later. But you can have 3 different types of bases. You can have one where your town center is in the middle, so it will be like a metal protection base if you're a metal player playing for metals. then you have that one, and then your second town layout can be, well, your town center's outside and your resources are in the middle, and then to switch them, you just go in there, hit the button, and hit activate, and then boom, it's done. You don't have to move all this stuff around every time, and that's great. So back before I got the oil, I used to only protect one resource at a time. So I had a base that had all of my gold stuff on the inside, my food stuff was outside, and then I had another one that was the opposite, right? And then I would just, whichever, if I'm hoarding food for a troop upgrade, then I was in my food protection base, and I didn't really care what was going on with my gold, and the other way around. A little bit later, it gets to where you kind of need to do both, which is kind of where I am now. So, and the same thing goes for the war base. You can have 3 different war base layouts, and then just switch back and forth between them. It is a very, very well done editor. Compared to
I really like it. The only thing that I'm stuck with is you're so used to using the center grid.
Yeah.
Where I can actually place what was in the middle.
Right.
I don't see that here, which is a little bit different.
Yeah, there's not a grid, but I'll give you a pointer. It's a little bit easier if in the beginning, if you keep the land area that you've cleared in a square shape.
Okay.
Or a rectangle shape. You don't want these weird shapes going off, the oddball shapes. It's easier to do it if it's a square or a rectangle. So.
Okay.
Well, all right. Well, man, I tell you what, we're going to do this again, and I know you're planning on doing some videos and some streaming on your channel. I'll definitely come over there and whenever you get ready for that, if you want me to, and
most definitely.
And we'll. But for now, we're going to wrap this one up. For NonToxic Gamers, my name is Bo, and that's SoulJiah. Y'all check out Soul's channel. I'll put a link in the description down below. And we are signing off.